What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing today? And this is Adrenaline, and today, actually, I have something quite interesting, something very new to our Good Game Kids feature. We actually have a YouTube channel right now, and it's actually open to all of the GGK members to post replays, to post games that they find awesome. All you have to do is just talk to either me or I'm Cloud High. We are the responsibles pretty much in the clan of the YouTube channel for StarCraft. We're going to be posting a lot of games, a lot of replay, and today I have something very special for you guys. It is an incredible replay from one of our players, one of our very own players, who is in Team GGK. It is no other than Neuro, who played a game versus a Grandmaster. It is an awesome game, ladies and gentlemen. So as we get into this game right here, we're going to be checking this out. And it is happening versus GuitarCheese on Frost. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this awesome epic ZVP. And spawning in the top right position for Team Good Game Kids, it is the Red Zerg, Neuro. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom right for Team Demos, the Grandmaster, the Blue Protoss, GuitarCheese. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting ZVP here on Frost, and I'm actually interested to see how it's going to pan out. I remember I have actually overlooked this replay very quickly just to see how awesome it was, but I don't really remember actually anything about the game itself. So, okay, just making sure that everything is fine. Yes. So, this is gonna be cool. Actually, I'm curious. I don't even remember what's gonna go down. So this is gonna be pretty interesting here. It looks like right off the bat, GuitarCheese looks like he wants to be going for a Nexus first or Forge Fast Expand type of build here. Neuro, in this side of things, is gonna get lucky. He's gonna be sending over down the Overlord in the right position. Getting an immediate scout over to this expansion is going to be very key for him. Most likely Neuro is going to be falling back into somewhat of a 3-base play. This is much more common versus Zerg when Protoss goes for a Nexus first or something like that. But I think it's actually lining itself up for the Nexus first here. GuitarCheese seems to actually be using all of his Chrono Boost. Oh no, but he is actually sending over the probe here, so not getting a Forge. He is going to be going for the Nexus. He's actually saving up the minerals here. Look at him. He knows this exact timing. After getting the minerals, he's just going to be saving up his probe, then returning the cargo. So the probe is just going to go back to mining, which is very, very good for him. It actually limits the damage that the probe is doing while he's just working on building stuff. He actually has an extra mineral patch that he's going to be able to bring in once he gets back into the main base. And going for the Nexus first, following this up with the Forge here, this is very classical. Neuro on his side of things has actually gone for the Pool first, which is a very good instinctive build, but now he's going to see like, aha, my opponent went for Nexus first, so this is very nice. From this point on, I wouldn't be surprised to see him just mass up a bunch of drones, really, and go for that third base. Going for the Stefano Wings of Liberty style build, which is, you know, it's really old school, but it's still very good versus this type of opening versus Protoss. It's not because, you know, Heart of the Swarm came out that the old Wings of Liberty build don't necessarily work given the proper situations. And Demos, GuitarCheese is just going to be completing himself with the wall off here, just making sure that no aggression is going to be coming in too hardcore. Neuro's got this Overlord, he's spotting over everything, and GuitarCheese, surprisingly enough for himself, has not sent out a single Pro Scout. Only now is he actually just going in. Well, he did see the Overlord go over his base, so he must assume that his opponent must be going for somewhat of a 3-base play. I mean, it would be the most logical thing to do for Zerg in this situation. But I guess we'll see what's up. There goes the drone. It looks like it is going exactly to the third right now. This little drone ski is going to be getting over a third base, and GuitarCheese, wisely enough, is actually sending the Pro over there right off the bat. I mean, he knows this is the time pretty much where Zergs have already taken or are about to take their third. And oh, this is really huge here. GuitarCheese is going to plant down just a single pylon, and it's actually just in the range for the hatchery, just enough to block it by like 1 hex or something. This is kind of bad. But Neuro here, oh, the pylon is actually going to finish, so Nero's actually going to be quite happy for this, you know. Having the third base delayed is not so bad if your opponent leaves up the pylon, because he's actually losing 100 minerals out of this. Neuro, intelligently speaking, he actually takes the other potential third here. It's a bit more exposed, you know, it's much closer to gateway attacks. A lot of proxy pylons could do some damage to this, but I guess it's not so bad, really. Getting a couple of seconds earlier this third base is quite crucial. You really want to be getting that critical number of drones until you start maxing a whole tons of units. And I guess we'll see what's going to be going down for teching on both players. Right now, GuitarCheese has just started the Warp Gate tech. It's actually doing something very standard. No hardcore deviation up until now, getting the Mama Ship Core, and it looks like he's still undecided on what tech path he's about to choose. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for a Stargate here on out, because Stargates are just so good, especially off 2 base. It's really easy for a Protoss player who's on 2 base like this to get a Stargate. And oh wow! Guys, I swear to God, I don't remember. I didn't remember he was actually going for Stargate for real. I just predicted this Stargate right here off the bat, and I'm right because I'm just so Gosu. Oh no, I'm just joking around. It's actually very good to go for Stargate for Protosses because, especially on a wide map like this, picking off Overlords becomes really key, and Phoenixes really are like the most mobile unit in the game, so they become very good for scouting and trying to pick off some extra drones and stuff like that. It looks like GuitarCheese here wants to be applying some pressure here. This is an old school type of Heart of the Swarm type of pressure. When the Mama Ship Core was just out, it was very popular for Protoss to use this first initial Stalker Zealot Mama Ship Core to try and do some damage. Because if you come to think of it right now, Neuro has got nothing but a Ling and 3 Queens to defend versus this, so drone kills can happen. But GuitarCheese, oh, he's actually assuming that his opponent took over the third base at the north here, but the Stalker was over there to clear it out. So he's not too sure if his opponent is actually still on 2 base or not. He's actually just going in straight into the natural here, trying to do some damage. It looks like he could potentially kill these queens here. The Roach Warren is not yet completed, but Transfuse saved the queen. Very nice. God save the queen, man. You gotta save the queen. But Neuro, oh, trying to focus down the Mama Ship Core. If he gets the kill, this could be huge. 1 queen does fall, and oh, the Mama Ship Core does get picked off. This is a very good trade for Neuro, losing a single queen. And oh, look at this, all of the drones are actually getting a surround over the Stalker here. He is getting 2 kills for himself, 2 drone kills, but 2 drone kills in exchange for a Stalker is not really good. And it looks like GuitarCheese chose to go for the Oracle behind all of this. He's going to be getting some drone kills over at the natural here. And, oh, Neuro accidentally attacking his hatch here. Poor hatchery. But the Oracle has laid over some pressure here, and now Neuro is just keep maxing on some drones right now. He's gotten somewhat of a hefty lead for himself. He's getting 9 additional drones. He's getting +1/+1, but GuitarCheese actually used all of this time bot from the Oracle as well as the Mama Ship Core and Stalker Zealot harassment to get up his third base. And now he's just massing up a bunch of gateways. He's going up to 4. He's got his Void Ray that's gotten 2 Overlord kills for himself. It's very good up until now. And it looks like the double Stargate play here is en route for GuitarCheese. Has Neuro actually seen all of these Stargates? Oh, he's seen 1, but he hasn't seen the second. Luckily for him, he is getting his Hydralisk Den right now, so he's going to have the proper response to this. Roach Hydra is in general very good versus Gateway and versus only Gateway and Void Ray composition. The Roach Hydra become weak versus Gateway and Stargate once you start incorporating like High Templars into the mix, because that's pretty much the only AoE unit that's going to come out of Gateway. You can still include the Archon, that's like somewhat of a Gateway unit, but it's still a tier 3 Gateway unit. You still have to get like DT Shrines or High Templars to get those Archons. And for a short period of time, I feel that Nero's going to find himself in a very strong situation, although both players are actually quite even on income. Actually, GuitarCheese is quite ahead. He has 67 probes for himself. He's doing very good. And Neuro is just about, he's actually started his 4th base right now. There is the Twilight Council that's been thrown down, so I wouldn't be surprised to see GuitarCheese follow this up with the Templar Archives, and he's actually throwing down 3 more gateways. This is going to be bringing him up to 8 gateways. He has 2 Stargate, 8 gateways off 3 bases. It's a very nice number, very round, very good, and I suppose that all around GuitarCheese is going to be managing to keep himself having all of his minerals quite low. And look at this, he's actually planning already a ring of pylon near the Zerg's base. And it looks like he's preparing to go for the offensive. He's actually been stacking up a lot of sentries, 6 sentries for himself. 1 has complete energy, the rest are all over near 100, so this is going to be a lot of banked up force fields when the mass gateway attack just suddenly appears on the map. And I guess we'll see how how GuitarCheese actually chooses this off. Oh my god, he's not actually going for High Templar tech. He's getting charge and +2. He's getting charge and +2 here, so this is quite interesting. I feel that the Roach Hydra composition is going to be very good. Neuro is getting 2-2 for himself. He's getting the muscular augments. I believe he does already have the groove spines. Yes, he does. But GuitarCheese, did he actually see this? Oh, he didn't see the 5th base, but he does see the geysers. There is a Warpin of Zealot that's about to go into the 4th base here, but it's already a spine crawler. And there are some units. There's actually, whoa, wait a minute. There's actually only a few Hydras that have just popped out right now at the 12-minute mark. But then, yet again, GuitarCheese is going to go at the same time at the 3rd base and do a multi-prong attack. Neuro might find himself in a very rough situation here. Preemptive force fields go down, preventing most of the forces of actually joining in. The Zealots at the 4th are still doing damage. And now the Hydras and the Queens are just going to show up here at this 4th, but there's not anything to tank the damage for the Void Rays. So all of the Hydras and Queens are doing so much damage to the air. The 4th base is actually still under fire. The Zealots are not focusing fire down, but Neuro is pushing back this multi-prong here with great success. GuitarCheese, I felt he was lacking some gateway units. Maybe just a single round of Zealots with these Void Ray Sentry would have done so good. But the extra round of Zealots here is actually going over at the top. No, he realizes he's got some units down at the defense, and the 4th base is not going to be falling. Neuro is basically just mining gas out of this. As the 5th base is about to be taken out here, Neuro is not even going to consider sending some units. He's just realizing, yeah, well, this is dead, man. I can't really do anything about it. And, yeah, GuitarCheese is sitting on 3 bases for himself. He's got a very good Econ League. He does have the Templar Archives right now. He does have the Psionic Storm that's on the way, and he's adding on 5 more gateways. This is going to bring him up to a total of 13 gateways, 2 Stargates, constantly producing Void Rays, and now Neuro has got his Spire complete. He's getting the +1. He's going for Mutalisks, and this switch might actually be very good. It might actually be very good, right up until GuitarCheese start adding on some Archons in this mix, but in the meanwhile, Mutas can still do a lot of damage to the Void Ray count. It can still potentially pick off some extra probes, perhaps even some High Templars who are actually not too careful of what they're doing. Abandoned High Templars are a very, very juicy target for most of the Mutalisks. And another Zealot Warpin is going to make its way up over at the 4th here. Oh, the Oracle casted Envision over all of the Hydralisks. The Oracle has died though, so Neuro though, it doesn't have to worry about any cheese. And here comes the very big attack. Oh, the Mutas are going to engage straight up into the Void Rays here. The entire force of GuitarCheese is going to have to pull out, and Storm goes down, but he actually hits most of his own Zealots and some of the Void Rays, and there's actually only the Void Rays in the anti-air here. The Mutas are going to be able to do so much damage to this Void Ray count. This is very, very good for Neuro right now. He's killing all of the Void Rays, and he's got all of his Hydras in the back of this. And he could just potentially walk over and take down this 4th base. And if GuitarCheese loses this 4th base, this means that really soon his main is going to be depleted and he's going to be falling down on a 2-base economy. And yes, the 4th base is cancelled. There's another Zealot counterattack going down at the 4th base for Neuro, but there are some static defense here. Very nice decision. And in the meanwhile, wow, Neuro just going down over into natural. He's doing so much damage right now. And a lot of drone kills have died over for Neuro overall, but it looks like the Mutas are going to be able to try and even out this count. Phoenixes are now out on the field, but oh, GuitarCheese not exactly microing perfectly here. And look at this, Neuro with Hydraling going for a counter inside of the natural. He could still potentially kill all of these workers right here. Wait a minute, what happened to all of the Hydras? Did they all die? I think they did. Oh my god, I actually missed all of the Hydra's death. But the Mutas are doing so much damage down at the 3rd base. They're killing so many workers. Neuro is actually evening out himself out in terms of workers killed right now, and now the fact that we are going into the late game, this worker difference is huge, because now GuitarCheese is literally on only a base and a half mining. This natural is already mined out. The main is practically mined out. There's really not a lot of mining time left here. There's only the 3rd base, and it seems that GuitarCheese is finding himself in a rough situation where he can't really be trying to get over 4th base. Neuro is just keeping over the opponent on the back foot. He's spreading over the creep, and this next tumor is going to be able to block this quite easily. Zealot Warpins are getting intercepted all over the map. This is extremely hard to follow. Oh my god! And it looks like Neuro actually only does not have vision of all of the pylons that are over at the top left side of the map here. Hydras are going to get a little bit caught out of position here, but the Phoenixes are going to engaging with the Mutas. GuitarCheese not microing them perfectly. He's losing a couple amount of Phoenixes, and he has to be very careful because it's really easier to resplenish Mutalisks than it is to resplenish Phoenixes. So the Phoenix count is really quite important to keep it up high. And it looks like now GuitarCheese cannot make Void Ray, so the Roach Hydra will become so good versus most of the Gateway units. And GuitarCheese is forced to make a lot of Phoenixes because the only other very good unit's gonna have to deal with the Mutas is the Archons, but I presume he wants to be keeping most of his High Templars for Storm, and it looks like really he feels he must make something happen right now. He has to take a 4th base